Okay, hello, and welcome to a new episode of Belonging Songs.
Oh, Jesus, how'd that happen?
We just stumbled onto it. Into it. Belonging Songs is your weekly podcast that brings you a brand new original song each week, then talks about the theme of that song and the processes that went into writing and recording it. I am your host, Wade Dana. With me, as always, my good friends Bradley J. Maurer.
Hello.
And Patty Crane.
Top of the morning to you.
Oh, Patty Crane.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Excellent.
Great.
It's
Fantastic.
like we just jumped on here for the first time today and are now just saying hi to each other.
So fresh.
We've all survived the holidays for you listener out there. We're 2 days post-Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Survived the holiday.
Yeah, the holiday. We got another one.
One coming. One's coming.
You know what should be a national holiday?
National Hot Dog Day. We've covered that.
Boxing Day?
Unboxing Day.
Belonging Songs debut season day.
Debut season day.
That is a national holiday.
What day? If that was a holiday in 2021, what date would that be?
We got to. Well, it'd be the 15th Wednesday of every month.
Well, it'll be like a month or two ago, whenever this comes out.
We got a certificate of participation.
So, what if the listeners forgot when that was going to be?
Well, it's out now. That's the beautiful thing. It's out right now.
Let's say we're going to edit it out and leave it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when it's me making the mistakes, I just
okay.
cut it out.
Yeah, you're gonna leave my out of context part probably in,
Right.
where I just go, "Well, hey, what day if we were coming out? What day would it be, Wade?"
Obviously, we're well into season 2 at this point.
If this day was a pizza,
Yeah. Right on.
So yeah, today we are listening to a new song by me. This one I started on December 5th, which is why the recording audio file is titled New December 5. Like we just mentioned, it is now 2 days post-Christmas, so we're at the 27th here. This song, New December 5, I started it, probably finished the music December 6th, and it has been sitting since then. No lyrics, nothing. Because I just still can't write lyrics, it seems like. Having a really tough time. So last night, I was like, well, we're going to get together and podcast. I would like to, move some stuff along here. So I just recorded some gibberish to come up with vocal melody to this. So what we're going to hear is my instrumental demo for this song, and then nonsense lyrics and gibberish for a vocal melody. I haven't done that yet on the show, and it's not something I really ever do. I don't think I've ever recorded a whole track of just melody without having actual words. Obviously, when I'll write, sometimes I'll come up with a melody in my head or I'll sing along, but I've never gone so far as to record the melody before I had lyrics, and I'm hoping that this is going to help me write the words as I listen along. Now I know the cadence, and I know how many syllables can fit in each section.
You know who else also was hoping that was going to help them? Anthony Kiedis.
Yeah.
This could end up being the final
out.
track, right?
Just turned up being a yamma damma ding dong.
Normally, this isn't something I would want people to hear, but since I'm stuck and we're trying to give more insight into the whole writing process, I thought this might be a good place to start for the BSers to hear the lengths we go to help us capture the song or track it down.
Yeah,
So
this is us suffering for you.
Mm-hmm.
This is a season 2 deep dive.
So yeah, this has been sitting around for a while, unfinished. Let's give it a listen.
You're listening to the new December 5.
People keep on showing up. Oh, leave me alone. Don't let me down. Keep me from trying. Maybe sometimes we're
Okay, so lyrics obviously done.
Now I know what it's like to listen to like American songs if I lived in Spain.
Right?
I didn't know the lyrics, but I'm still like into it.
Have you seen? There's a video that's sort of gone sort of
The
viral
Italian
recently.
guy?
The Italian guy.
Yeah,
It's
awesome.
incredible.
I
It's
have not.
absolutely incredible. It's an Italian guy singing like a pop song, how Americans sound when they sing pop songs, and it's perfect.
Using English words that don't make sense together.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and some
It's
of them aren't
hilarious,
even
yeah.
words.
Right, it's awesome.
It sounds so perfect.
We'll have
I'm
to
pretty
send that
sure
to you
there's
later.
a whole Neil Hamburger country album where he just does shit like I just did on this.
Right.
But it sounds like you would sing it, but
Right.
it's all nonsense and it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
that Italian video, it sounds like he just said something there, but I didn't quite get the lyrics.
Right.
So not what I was going for here. I just don't have lyrics, but I wanted to kind of
This
move
song's
forward.
still going to be in my head.
Yeah, wait, I think you've got a rock solid song here. It's
Yeah.
very melodic, even with just the scratch melody down.
Mhm.
I totally like where this is heading. I really like the transitions into the distorted guitar.
Uh-huh.
They're silky smooth how they transition, complement one another. The vocals, when you do record the vocals to this, I think are going to flow right along with that
Mm-hmm.
sort of, I don't know, I get almost like an Oceanside kind of feel.
Okay.
Just because it has these peaks and valleys that work really well to my ear. And I love the bass in this song.
Yeah,
Cool,
that's a
thanks.
good way to describe it. Oceanside, because it does kind of feel it's chill in a way.
Yeah. So just put
Okay.
in some seagull sounds and she's done.
Yeah.
I might.
I do like the lyric, don't let me down. I would exploit that probably.
That's been stuck in my head, and that's what I had from the get-go, but I just haven't been able to
Try it like
elaborate
this.
on it.
Don't
you got to
let me
figure out
down.
how people are letting you down.
No,
you know?
don't let me down. Woohoo.
Is it Bruce? Is it Don't Let Me Down?
I think it's Bruce. I think they're...
I've always wondered if it's Bruce
I did think I was onto something because this song is so easy and fun to play on. Not easy like technically, but just it flows together nice when you're playing it on guitar. I've been just picking up my guitar and playing the song all the way through as a go-to lately, just because it's fun and it sounds good all together and it flows really nice. So I thought that I had done a good job at arranging as I was putting it together.
I would agree with that.
This already has the potential for this to be one of my favorite songs of yours. It really sounded nice to my ear.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It's funny that you mentioned the like Oceanside thing, because I've been using, I don't know if you've noticed this season so far, I've been using a ton of tremolo
Oh yeah.
with my Strat, and I put a bunch of that in here too. I don't know why. It was never a go-to for me, but I don't know. I'm in a groove here with that. So that gives it that like oceany kind of,
yeah.
you think of surf guitar or whatever, Oceanside stuff. So I don't know what else to say other than I need to get lyrics and then we'll revisit this.
I think you're on track to make a really sweet song
Yeah. I'd
presently.
probably record this under the moniker of Timmy Ocean.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned the bass too, because it's more busy than I typically do, but I kind of wanted that for some reason. I don't know, but I'm glad it worked.
Yeah.
The bass
works.
player for the new December 5 is a
He's
mover and a
great.
shaker. That's why.
Okay, so I'm
Tootsie
going to
Collins.
continue.
Yeah. Shoesy Collins.
You guys done?
No, not, unfortunately, no. I've got a whole nother season of this.
Yeah. Okay. If it was a Mad Libs, right, it would just say footwear and then Collins. Right? So you'd have like Converse Collins.
Slippers
right?
Collins.
Slippers Collins. Soxy.
We paid for this recording time, right?
Right.
Good thing we upgraded. I think we're good here.
Yep.
Set course.
To the future!
Welcome back, BSers and bots. It's been a while since we recorded on this song.
Pots and pots? Did I hear somebody looking for pots and pots and bots and bots?
You're going to have to go across the street for that.
Actually
Bots-
looking for
Bots and bots across Maine. Talk to Dougie. Dougie gets you all the pots for your bots you need, but at pots and pots, we only got pots for pots.
is it Barts and Barts? Or
No, it's
Bots
not-
and Bots?
That's down the hall on the left, Suite 283.
All right.
So yeah, we were just talking about what this song even is, because when we first listened to it, it had no lyrics, it had no name. So I had to tell these guys, this is the song that we already recorded an episode on, but I just sang nonsense to. I have since written lyrics. This was in a group of 4 songs that I kind of wrote all at the same time. Brad, are you okay?
I'm just looking at Patrick creeping up some Conway Twitty from the bottom of his screen real quick.
Yeah, stay tuned on our Instagram page
Making-
to see
making my
Patrick's
pose
thrift
right
store
now feel
purchases of Conway
insignificant.
Twitty paraphernalia.
Folk art from Twitty City.
Yeah, so this song, like I said, was one in a group of 4 songs that I kind of wrote at the same time, and then hadn't had lyrics for. This was actually the first one, I believe, that I recorded in that group, and it was entitled New December 5. There were numerous jokes about the New December 5 as the band name from you guys. Super funny as always. And
Sounds like good jokes.
Wade, if you could leave us a review on our iTunes page.
but I've since written lyrics. This now is called Where We Hide. I've recorded them. And this is the demo version of the song with the lyrics. And I really want to get your opinion on it, because I'm not sure I like the way that I sing them. And I'm not sure if I want to re-record them or not. So I sang them a little differently than I usually sing on songs, and I'm not sure if I hit it because I was doing something different. So I'm not sure if I gave it enough, like enough came through, because maybe I was concentrating on trying to do what I was trying to do instead of
Don't
the
don't
message of the
say
song.
don't say any more on that because I actually want to listen with an objective ear.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get back in the time machine. We'll go back.
18 to 19 seconds.
Maybe only one of us will diddly do. We'll go back just a little ways.
Yeah, we can't all diddly do. It'll rip the space-time continuum.
Yeah. So that's where the song is. If you guys
Give it a
are
go.
geared up to
Yeah.
listen, let's do
give it a go.
that, and then we'll talk
Give it a
about
go.
it.
So we can objectively listen to this vocal.
I like the lyrics.
Don't let me down. Don't give up on trying. And maybe all the things we've done that make the next satisfying. You just keep showing up. Try to make the best of what we can somehow. Don't let me down. Try to keep us from falling. And maybe now that we've steadied out, and maybe now we've just started. You just keep showing up. Try to make the best of what we can somehow. Sound advice that we're prone to ignoring. We believe in our lives and we wonder why we don't feel we're good enough all the time. Don't let me down. There's no use in us fighting. You know we'd both be much better off to leave me to deciding. Behind all these bones where we hide, we're not tied by appearance. We can choose to stay inside, but then no one would hear us. They need to hear us. It's sound advice that we're prone to dismiss. We believe in our lies and then wonder why we feel lost sometimes. Don't let me down. Don't give up on trying. And maybe all the things we've done that make the next satisfying. Behind all these bones where we hide inside. Behind all these bones where we hide inside.
Okay, is everybody back?
Yep.
I dropped out during that. Did Patrick too, or is it just
No,
me?
it's just you.
Okay. So I've lost signal today while recording. Patrick has dropped out. Brad, second week in a row. No
Chicken
technical
wins.
difficulties.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're back.
So you know
and
what's funny?
That was the most opportune time for it to go out, actually.
Yeah, actually, you're right. But what's funny is every time I think one of us say something about like I'm singing this completely different. It's not.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like I really, I don't. I went out on a limb here. Went nuts.
Well, particularly doing during the bridge of that,
Yeah.
like I'm using like a different. Might not make sense to a lot of people, but I'm using a different shape in my throat to get that tone and timbre. And oh great, like something really kicked down here in my basement.
No,
Super
it sounds
loud.
good. Sounds
It
really
does,
good.
it does.
Sounds active.
Give me a second so I can then filter that out. What is that?
Do you have a seashell in your basement? Because I can hear the ocean.
Is it yours?
It's the water heater. Nobody's using the water. It's just decided that now
The
is
water's
the time.
cold, Wade. It's 10 degrees outside.
Anyway, we'll deal with that in post. It's totally fine. Nothing is fucked here, dude.
It's how you know it's real. But I know exactly what you're saying, how...
Now Brad's frozen.
I know what you're saying, how you are doing something different, which doesn't make you... It's not as comfortable to sing. I completely get that. But the sound of it and the cadence and everything it's all you. It sounds...
Yeah.
I really like it, though.
I would totally agree with that assessment.
Okay.
The bridge, it's interesting you brought that up because that's the part of the vocals I really focused on. So I did notice something there. What I think it needs when you sing the line, "You're not tied by appearance." I want a little bit of harmony there. And I don't want a lot of harmony in this song for some reason. I think it's perfect the way it is, except I just want that bridge to feel more, get this, bridgy.
Okay.
To just differentiate itself a little bit. But I think you have the start there with changing up like you said, the shape of your vocals. There is something discernible there. It's subtle, but it's there.
There are some harmony vocals on the alt choruses that I don't love on a couple words that are probably going to get changed or taken out.
The harmonies are pretty toned down, and I think that's good for this song, particularly with the way I read the lyrics, because this is one of those songs of yours where there's a real disconnect between, if I were to read these lyrics raw, which I did before we started recording, it is a really, in my mind, depressing song about two individuals who are struggling through not struggling, but are going through the ups and downs of a relationship, whatever that relationship is, romantic or platonic. But when you sing the song with the same lyrics, it becomes more of a hopeful kind of intonation just because of the music, the way you sing it. So I think the way you transform the storytelling.
Sorry.
Bots, if you're listening, remember to leave us a message to follow us to your website for hot chicks.
Right. Use as vulgar a term as possible, too, if you could.
Right. I just really like that about this song. It catches you a little off guard. I mean, the listeners out there aren't going to have the privilege of reading the lyrics before they hear the song, probably.
I do put the lyrics up on Facebook a day before episodes come out.
So that was a lie.
I guess we should put them on Instagram, too, somehow. We'll have to figure out the best way to do that. Probably just a screenshot.
I don't know how important it is, except to make my case, because I'm really drawing at straws here, guys, to defend my point. But no, I really like that. The only thing I'm not sold on with this song so far, in fact, I would go so far as to say it might be ready, except I'm not sold on the outro.
The fade?
It doesn't feel complete to me. It doesn't wrap up the song in any way, just fading out from that point anyway. I could actually, and I can't believe I'm seeing this, think this might benefit from a little bit longer of some just musical, no vocals fade.
Okay.
It was just this is my first listen, so.
I toyed around with the idea of putting a chorus before that end. Maybe that's something I could try.
Yeah,
cut and
maybe.
paste of, just to elevate it like once more before the end.
Yeah, because and maybe it's just the composition of the song being so flowing and nice and smooth that it just doesn't wrap up quite as cleanly as the rest of the song's composed. I don't know. It's my first listen. I'll listen to the song a bunch more because I really like it. I yield my time to the gentleman.
Brad, what are your thoughts thematically on this? Since we talk about a new song each week in the theme of that song.
The theme of the song is I grabbed something similar to what Patrick said when I read through the lyrics. Yeah, it's the struggle of a relationship, whether it's distance and just not communicating, or if it's an actual struggle, is probably open to interpretation. But I could definitely read it as like not seeing each other a lot or not connecting a lot in some way. And that's kind of how I read. There's nothing really in there that's very specific that leads you to anything firm. But I do like it, and I do relate to the lyrics, and I did relate to them before I listened to the song.
I can tell you exactly my thoughts when writing this. This is a conversation with oneself.
Okay.
So the 2 points of view are actually coming from the same person. So it's kind of like an inner monologue type of thing. And did you know that there are people out there without inner monologues?
I do. That's weird.
Are any of you guys one of those?
Well,
if it would be one of them, it'd be Brad, right?
No, let me
talk
just
about
hang
this.
on a goddamn minute. I literally talk to myself in the morning every day. I have conversations with other people without them being there. So it's an outer log a lot of
Do
times.
you hear your own voice when you're reading?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. But there's
Like
people who don't do that.
Constantly
Hang on, I
talking
gotta
to
read real
myself
quick.
in my head, and some people just don't. What's going on?
Yeah, I hear my voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you a lot of what goes on in my inner monologue is what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
The fuck are you thinking here?
Yeah, so that is what the theme of the
Or
song
Jesus Christ,
is.
could you imagine if this came out of your mouth?
Right.
Right.
Mine is usually you're good enough, you're smart enough.
Doggone it.
Doggone it. People like you.
Oh shit! How many hot dogs are left in the fridge? How many buns do we have?
A lot of
I
that.
need to stop at the store. I got one hot dog, 3 buns. Do I buy more hot dogs and buns, or just finish up these buns?
Why is it a 6 versus 8 thing? Like, what's going on with this hot dog bun situation?
It's unions. Blame the unions.
Is
Brad.
it?
Just want to keep going.
No.
No, it is.
What segment is this called?
Is this the themes of the song, right?
This is the derailed.
Oh yeah, this has been derailed with Patrick Crane.
So, Patrick, it's interesting what you said about the theme of the song, how you were like, well, this is kind of depressing, which is funny because I didn't think that when writing it, but I think I just come from that place inherently especially when I'm writing a song that is about myself. So this is a conversation with myself to try and keep showing up, keep doing things. So more of a positive message from push and pull type of thing.
Well, I think we've established to the listeners, you're generally the more positive of the 3.
I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that is how I kind of wrote it as that conversation with oneself to try and self-motivate, keep showing up.
Hold on, I'm going to tally this one into Patrick's wrong about the theme again. Okay, so far we're like 3 to 424.
I don't think
so
you're wrong.
Does that pass or not pass? Is it like Congress?
I'm going to put it in the middle.
The low number wins, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything in the writing that would
Tell you that.
But that's how I wrote it as.
But knowing that and reading it hits pretty good. And
yeah, absolutely.
And I think, to be honest, I mean, other than maybe these weirdos that don't have inner monologues, I think everybody can relate to that theme in some way or another. Even positive people need to be motivated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's no better person to motivate you than yourself if you are capable.
Other than that guy, what's the guy with the big teeth?
Oh, Kenny Loggins.
Yeah, Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
Even Kenny Loggins, I think Messina has to call him up every now and then and be like,
and say, hey, man, are we
Kenny,
doing
it's
this?
Messina,
Yeah, but
I know you're
Messina
struggling, man.
Messina just needs more money. Loggins is fine. Messina's just like, well, you're my ticket. I need to cash a check. So
Yeah.
this has been derailed by Patrick Crane.
So Brad,
Yeah.
Patrick had mentioned that end. Did you have any thoughts on the musical arrangement now that there are vocals?
Yes, and it was the end.
Okay.
And it was a quick fade for me.
Uh-huh.
So like you went back to a part and it instantly started fading was my struggle with it because I didn't get
that. I just kind of threw that on there
Yeah,
arbitrarily because I knew
the only thing I didn't like about it
fade.
was that I didn't get a chance to get settled back into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like I think if it was
Okay.
4 lines and the last 2 faded, I would be okay with it. I just didn't get a chance to get back into it and then say goodbye with it.
Yeah, I think that's a lot more insightful than the jibber jabber I was putting together. I think that's probably right.
This has been On the Rails with Brad Maurer.
That riff that plays, the single note riff that's going on. It's not single note, but I'm playing single notes in the pattern that happens at the intro and then the outro of the song. This actually was super hard for me to play. It's just, you know, how you get used to playing certain patterns on guitar.
Yeah.
And I changed it a little, and it took me forever to get
Getting
that.
there,
And it was just
yeah.
like, it's not a hard thing, but my brain was just wired to do it a certain way. And I tried to change it a little, and I like how it sounds, but yeah, that was really hard.
I've been trying to practice the guitar for that reason. Like
Oh,
try
yeah.
to practice and that's another reason like you don't learn a lot of other people's songs. That's a big reason why I learn other people's songs because I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? It's not natural
Right.
like picking for me. So it's fun to change it up like that every once in a while.
What do you think about the idea of putting a chorus before that end?
I think that would be too much.
I
Too
think
much?
so too.
So you just think I need to maybe cut the fade a little later and maybe figure out a way to get that elevated a little more at the end? Patrick, was that your kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't know if elevated's the right word. It needs to feel like a conclusion of the song, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the way it fades is kind of a placeholder kind of feeling. Like,
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, this
Yeah.
isn't mixed or anything. I think I just knew I wanted a fade on it, so I just kind of threw
yeah,
one in there.
yeah, and it might
Otherwise,
be,
it just kind of falls apart at the end.
It could literally be take out the vocals there and just fade out the instrumentals, and I might be happier with that.
Okay. I'll have to play around with that.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the first time I've heard it. I think I've got to sit down with it a couple of times. If I have any thoughts, I'll send them to you.
I think what I would want to hear at the end of that is not the chorus. I had to go back to the lyrics. It would be just a repetition of "Don't Let Me Down." The line into a fade would be better than the "Behind All These Bones," the bridge.
Mm.
You know, I think because that really is the part that sticks with me in this song, and it really ties the theme of the song to it. It would kind of punctuate it better because that's what
It's different music, though.
it is. But I could sing it to it like I was just doing it. I'm just going back here. Hang on. I like to actively listen.
Does it need any flute, do you think?
Tuba.
Would that help?
Tuba.
Yeah, or even if it was just sung a little bit differently, it would fit to that music. I don't know. That's just my thought because that line sticks better to me for a faded outro than it does the "Behind Where We Lie,"
Okay.
behind these bones.
Yeah, I can see that.
The "Where We Hide" thing is I guess that's the one line that hints to what this song is actually about. So I think that's why I tagged it with that. So it alludes to you being, inside with yourself. I think that's why I made that decision. Thematically.
That is yours to make.
Mm-hmm.
So if it works better for you that way, then Godspeed.
I'll definitely play around with that because it sounds like, and I kind of thought that too. Like, I don't know if it's the end coming, like the transition going into that part, or if it's the part itself. I think something needs to happen to, like Patrick said, conclude the song a little better. So I'll have to look at that. Are there any other things in the rest of the song that you guys think I need to work on?
No, actually, no.
Yeah. I didn't have any notes down for any.
Nope.
I really like it,
Okay.
actually.
Yeah, this is a rare bird. This is out of the gate. Like, couple minor tweaks, it's done.
All right. Well, I will continue working on this and probably mix it for the next time we listen and work on that end.
I
So
like it.
you guys want to talk about anything else other than this podcast before?
Oh, you mean
we
doing the derailing part when no one's trying to talk about a song? No,
Yeah.
no, I don't.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
let's,
now that there's room to derail,
Yeah.
we'll just
We're
call
good?
it a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to I think we said what we needed to say.
We said our piece. We said Arby's.
We got our Hurley talk out of the way.
all right. Well, We're going to jump to the future. We'll be right back.
Pew.
Set course.
To the future!
All right, so we're going to do Sound Advice, which is a new title for a song we've already listened to.
You're listening to Sound Advice on NPR.
All right, I remember this one.
BSers, welcome back. You are listening to Sound Advice on BSR. The Stride.
This has been Sound Advice.
So yeah, this song is now called Sound Advice. You'll notice that that's a different song title than what it was before, which was Where We Hide, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In tiny holes that are empty most of the
Baby.
time.
I did a lot of work on this song. I opened this up. I know I've mentioned that this was the first song I recorded in the group of 4 songs that I did all at once. And this is the last one to get finished. And when I opened this up to do the mix, it had been a while since we recorded on it. And I finished the song Idiot March before I mixed this. And I also recorded another song called Snakes before I jumped into this. So when I opened this up, which was just a couple days ago to mix it, I listened through and I was just like, this song isn't done. This is an unfinished song. And I thought I was going to jump in and mix it. When we recorded on it last, the notes from you guys, Patrick especially, were that the end, Brad, you said this too, the end wasn't really hitting. It didn't seem like a conclusion to the song. But other than that, it was going well. But when I opened it up, I was like, this needs a lot more work. And I did a ton of stuff to it. So I'm curious to see your reaction to it, because I think it's a lot different.
Does it sound more like Jackson Brown?
Yes.
Good. Brad will like it. It'll be allowed at work.
Mm-hmm.
And I did change the end. And I think, so I did mix this, but I also have a version of the song that we could listen to before the mix, because I did so much on it, and that's not my preference to I would rather just play the done version for everybody and make it seem like, I got there really easily. But I think to benefit the show, we should listen to the version that I did when I finished recording it. So I did a bunch of work to it, and then the next day came in and mixed it, but I also ended up doing a lot of arranging in that process. So I cut a lot of the things out that I had done. And I think it would be good to go through that process like we usually do with like your songs, Brad, just
Why is that?
to prove that I don't only cut your stuff out.
Oh, that would be good to know.
Yeah. Why are we doing this again?
So that version is called Sound Advice Revised Demo. If you guys want to pull that one up, we'll listen to that first. Then we'll talk about it, and then we'll listen to the mix, and I can explain the differences. If that sounds agreeable to you, blokes.
I would agree with that.
That sounds like sound advice.
All right. Thank you. That was a layup, folks.
I didn't put it together. I was too busy thinking about how good of a Wheel of Fortune before and after Shoeless Joe Jackson Brown is.
Oh, man.
That's a pretty good one.
Shout out to Sajak if you're listening.
So, BSers and you guys, little BTS for you. We just recorded an episode, and I was upset that I had to use this microphone that I had to buy when we had a bunch of technical difficulties to listen to stuff through, and it sounded horrible. So I switched over to my computer, and now the audio's doing this weird, like, back and forth panning thing, and I can't hear myself in it. So this is pretty cool. We're just going to go with it, and I might just get a phased out version of this song, but you guys will get the real
Fit
thing.
of
and then we
rage,
can talk
maybe,
about it
in the middle of it.
Yes, it's going well. Like I've said on a few of our most recent shows, I'm ready to get back into the studio with you guys so we can actually use our good equipment to record.
Put on our good shoes.
Mm-hmm, I'm ready.
All right, let's listen to this.
Yeah, speaking of which, I have slippers over at Wade's I haven't seen in a year.
Same.
Studio slippers. Yeah. All right, I'm going to listen to the song.
let me down. Don't give up on trying. And maybe all the things we've done that make the next satisfying. You just keep showing up. Now try to make the best of what we can somehow. Don't let me down. Try to keep us from falling. And maybe now that we've steadied out, and maybe now we've just started. You just keep showing up. Now try to make the best of what we can somehow. Sound advice that we're prone to ignoring. We believe in our lives and then wonder why we don't feel we're good enough all the time. Don't let me down. There's no use in us fighting. You know we'd both be much better off to leave me to deciding. Behind all these bones where we hide, we're not tied by appearance. We can choose to stay inside, but then no one would hear us. They need to hear us. It's sound advice that we're prone to dismiss. We believe in our lives and then wonder why we feel lost sometimes.
All right, this will be fun because we can kind of do a bingo card
Right.
of your notes against like what I did in the
like a
mix,
test.
and yeah, and then if it's still not finished, I'll work on it more. But yeah, so this will be kind of cool. So Brad, you want to go first?
Yeah.
Wait, let me do a bingo card on Brad's. Like, well, I don't really remember last time what I said.
You nailed
so
that. Okay, keep going. What else we got? Hi, I'm also known as fully prepared. No, I do notice the new things. So my comments would be on the new things. I do like the sort of accented guitar, kind of moving notey kind of thing. I think it might be a little bit loud in the first verse because I'm not ready for it yet. So I think it's a little bit too audible. Would like it in the,
this is not mixed in any way.
I'm telling you what I hear, okay?
Okay.
I think that goes down a little bit, but I do.
Let's keep track of that. So for
Yep.
on the mix.
I do love the part, and I think that the adding of it was necessary for sort of the mood of the song because that kind of guitar thing throughout, and then a couple of those background vocals you do kind of changed.
Are you talking about like the surf?
Yeah.
I hate calling it surf guitar,
Yeah.
but the tone is
Yeah.
like surf guitar.
And then at the very end, it's the like it's kind of just
I love that part.
Yeah, it's like just this other thing, and I think it took what was sort of like a driving guitar driven chord progression kind of song, and it flipped it into sort of this kind of more
mellow.
more mellow, kind of Jackson Brown kind of,
I know, that's why
kind of feel like
Janet Jackson Brown.
It actually kind of nails that down where the song got smooth all of a sudden. So
Yeah.
and I like that about it. So I think that was a cool move, and I think that everything that you did that to the song and made it become that, which you must have felt that it needed because you sat there and were like, this isn't done, and you did all of that to it. So I like that move.
I can tell you what I did to it. Patrick, do you want to add anything to that before I get into all the changes?
Oh,
I
I'm
did
still
make?
on the podcast. That's cool.
Yeah, would you like to say anything?
Yeah.
Poop poop chew.
I'm guessing you took out a lot of stuff in the final mix. There was like a hand clap kind of sound at the beginning that goes away. That's gone. I'm guessing that I'm actually guessing that there is more instrumentation at the end in the final mix. Maybe another guitar track. And that's all I'm willing to wager.
Okay. Yeah, at this point in the song, I still was not happy with this song. This is one that took me a long time to come to terms with liking. And it's another case of I didn't even care for this song much until I got it mixed. So, yeah, I opened the session up to mix it, realized this song was not finished. It needed a lot more work. Obviously, I cut a verse out of the end and the entire outro that was there and replaced it with the one that is here. So that was like a major thing that I changed. I added 2 main guitars to the entire song. So I basically doubled the main guitar.
I'm
was
marking
there.
that off my bingo card. That's partial credit.
You can't mark off what you already heard.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. It's a free square.
All right. Okay.
Center
It's in
square.
the middle.
Shadow Stevens.
All right. That's fair.
So this song had 2 tracks of main guitar that were basically just a doubled thing that I had panned left and right, I think, or something. And I took those and put those both on the left and then recorded 2 more main guitars to complement them on the right side of the mix. And I played parts of it just a little different to give it a little syncopation throughout. I added 4 lead pig nose guitar tracks that come in through the choruses and the bridge. So those are lead elements. I added 2 synth tracks, which are the strings that weren't in there before. Those surfy lead, those din, 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 din. There's 2 tracks of those. I added 3 different end guitar tracks. I added shakers to the verses, if you noticed. Got out the little egg shakers, and there's claps in there. Added 4 tracks of background vocals to the choruses and bridge. So that is a lot of stuff that I put in because I didn't feel it was done. I did end up taking some of that stuff out once I got it all in there, did some arranging.
Oh, I'm going to get my bingo card ready.
That is how you get closer to smooth when you just put some shakers in. When you're like, you know what? This is
Closer to Smooth, the Michael McDonald story.
I wasn't sure if you guys were going to like the shakers. I wasn't sure if I was.
I didn't even
Shakers
hear
are
'em.
really, really hard
I
to
didn't
play,
pick 'em up either.
by the way.
Well, you don't have a
They're
lot
in
of
the
room
verses.
to move the sand around or whatever's in there. Things are like the size of a quail egg.
Yeah.
They are. They're eggs. I put a picture on
Yeah.
Instagram of them and said something about getting smooth or something like that. So, yeah, I think now
You
that
bring
we've
me
done
closer
that,
to Smooth.
now we should listen to the mix if I can find where my files went.
BS Mix
Oh, boy.
V1.
And you know what? Shout out to Addictive Drums. We always like to shout them out, XLN Audio, but they don't have shakers. You know,
They will next week.
You're not kidding.
let's get a pack with some shakers and tambourines.
Can we just
and
get? Can we just get?
percussion.
Can we just get the smooth kit? I mean,
what are, like,
Because they're
I
hard.
just want the smooth kit.
Do you guys remember in the back of every like Guitar World, there was always those percussion like udders? Where are those?
What?
Yeah, I'll
Udders?
find one and post on Instagram.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know what you're
I'm out
talking
on the
about.
udders. man.
I'll find them.
You're on an
This is
island.
gonna show up on my work computer.
Okay, you guys got this pulled
Yeah.
up? Let's listen to the mix of this song.
Latin percussion, LP utters.
Oh, well, look for that on
Yeah.
Instagram. Yeah, seriously. I'm looking forward to it myself.
All right, I'm going in.
All right, let's do it.
Don't let me down. Don't give up on trying. And maybe all the things we've done that make the next satisfying. You just keep showing up. I'll try to make the best of what we can somehow. Don't let me down. Try to keep us from falling. And maybe now that we've steadied out, and maybe now we've just started. You just keep showing up. I'll try to make the best of what we can somehow. Sound advice that we're prone to ignoring. We believe in our lies and then wonder why we don't feel we're good enough all the time. Don't let me down. There's no use in us fighting. You know we'd both be much better off to leave me to deciding. Behind all these bones where we hide, we're not tied by appearance. We can choose to stay inside, but then no one would hear us, and they need to hear us. It's sound advice that we're prone to dismiss. We believe in our lies and then wonder why we feel lost sometimes.
Okay, we're good. So what do you think of the differences between those two,
Patrick.
Brad?
No, I love where this thing ended up. I like the added synth. For some reason the volume issue that I had with the guitar, that guitar I was talking about, and like over the verse, no issue. I don't know what it was.
That's because it's mixed, Brad.
Yeah,
It's
I
mixed.
don't think
Yeah, it wasn't-
Wade told you that. He told you
I don't
that.
think you did much to it.
You
but
can't
pretty
count
nice.
it. You can't.
Sounds much better.
I'll tell you what happened. I opened this session after I did all that recording, rough mixed it, then mixed it, and got to this version, and then decided like, oh, I should have bounced down a version of the rough mix beforehand. So I didn't have a rough mix. I had a backup version that I haven't updated yet. So I had the recorded version where I just had not done the rough mix yet. So I went and bounced that down. Like I wouldn't have brought that to the podcast normally. I would have at least rough mixed it, but that was just like I finished recording for the day and that was the song. So that's what
That's
happened
okay.
there.
I think anyway, like that cleaned up well. The synth part I do like. I like that coming in. I actually like the claps. I think the claps fit through those chorus parts. One of my favorite parts of this song is in that chorus where you cram all those words in the second line, where it's, you just keep showing up and I'll try to make the best of what we can somehow. If it was me, I would have ended it like 4 times before you get to the end of it. But I like that it's that long, because it's kind of what draws me into it. Cause I'm like, oh, that's not what I expected. And I like that. And I like it. You repeat that part throughout the song. And so everything around that part, I kept listening to closer and closer as we got to the end of the song. Compared to the original version and the original outro of this song, this outro is 1,000,000% better. Like I love the way that it ends. I love those little ba 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 guitars.
It's a lot richer.
Yeah,
a lot richer.
Really cool. Just kind of takes you out with the same mood that you have throughout the song, and kind of like what we've said about other songs, where you don't leave missing it, but you want more of it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what Patrick had said before. Like the song, as I brought it last time, didn't conclude properly. And I agree. Yeah, I think this does a better job of that.
I liked listening to the song a lot. Like I love this song. It's cool.
I like where it turned out. Like I said, I didn't like it up until the point where it was almost finished. Like the version we just listened to before this, I still was like, I'm not really digging this.
A note on this keyboard of Patrick saying it's got good bones. I think that I would hit right now.
Hit that button.
It's got good bones. It had good bones.
I did a ton of editing on this, as far as cleaning up tracks, taking out guitar squeaks. I got like way more in depth with stuff like that than I usually do. I think because I didn't like it so much.
You know what's funny though?
That I just kept doing
there's
stuff.
A part in your, sorry, Patrick. There's a part in this where like your guitar comes. He's not on the show anymore. I'm sorry, dude. Like, but there's a part in your where you.
I'm used to it.
Where you come in, I got excited. Where you just barely, like, you're coming in a little early on the part, and you can kind of hear the guitar. You have that little mess up before you start playing.
Yeah, I turned it up.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
It's before the second chorus.
And I was like, oh, that part's sweet, because you don't do that a lot. You usually clean that stuff up. I like that kind of stuff.
I liked it, and I did a lot of stuff like that of just turning little parts up, especially on the drums too. There's like just little fills here and there that I would just increase the volume on these little, even sometimes one hit, just to give the whole track a little more life. So yeah, I did a lot of work like that. And I also, you'll notice in that version, I cut out the intro vocals, which were like the
I wasn't big on those.
Didn't think they needed
especially
those.
With the synth involved now.
Yep, and I let the synth do the work there. And also in the first chorus, I had a bunch of new background vocals that I had done that I also just got rid of because I wanted the song to build. I didn't want it to all come at you right at once.
What was Patrick? Patrick
what's up,
say?
buddy?
I think Brad said it all. Go on, guys.
Bradtrick. This is Blogging Songs with Wade and Bradtrick.
Wade, Brad, and the rest. Go ahead.
There was also some
fucking guys got to yield again. Like Jesus Christ.
Well, he said go ahead.
He's always gonna say go ahead. Let him talk.
The vocals in the bridge that get really quiet now had background vocals over top of them that were a little too busy too, I think. And I like the up and down version that I landed on with that. That's all. I yield my time to the gentleman.
I think you need to bring in the string theme a little more. They come out strong in the intro, and I think you need to revisit the strength of the strings somewhere where they really...
Oh, that's interesting, because they are throughout almost the whole song.
Yeah, I know. I know. But
they get pretty loud in those choruses.
Is it because I'm listening through a blue microphone?
Ooh, are you listening through the microphone? 'Cause...
Yeah, it could be just my impression first mixed through, but I thought if you're going to come in with the strings really pumped up like they are, That
I
needs
did turn them up for that intro.
Yeah, that needs to be a motif that you need to revisit.
Maybe it's a turn them down in the intro instead of turning them up elsewhere.
It could be that too, because it seems like an exclamation mark on the song.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would live better, I think, with them being down in the intro a little bit more.
Okay.
Because when this song comes in, I'm thinking, ooh, this is going to be a string forward.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
Track.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's not. It's a guitar track.
Yeah.
I love the mood and the vibe of this song, and I think that might just throw it off a little bit to where it's like, ooh, I'm startled. Now I'm into it, and then I fall in love with it. And so I either want to hear those back, or just like you said, tone them down at the beginning.
Okay. Yeah, because I think they're pretty loud during the choruses. So I think, why don't you listen to it again and get back with me on that? Or I'll listen to it too, but I don't think it's something that we need to revisit.
Does
here.
it matter? Does it matter what I'm gonna say?
Yeah.
That's a good host. Yeah.
I think you might be right. I think the solution would be bringing them down at the beginning, because I think I maybe cranked them up a little too much there because I was overcompensating for taking those vocals out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think down in the beginning a little bit, and then I would like, if you guys are playing with it a little bit, throw it up in there just so I can hear it, because I would be curious to hear if it builds then or if it stays the same throughout the song, what it turns into, because it does come in a little piping.
Mm-hmm.
I'll turn it down. I'll send it to you guys. If that is the fix, then we're going to call this episode good. We're going to do an outro. If it's not and it needs more work, we can always jump back in. But I think if that's
I don't think it does.
thing,
No, I think it's a volume thing.
Cool. So I do like where it ended up. What do you guys think about the Shakers?
I had a hard time.
That's the best part of the song.
I had a hard time finding them still.
Yeah. What amp did you put those through? Pig nose?
No.
I do really like what you did with the hand clap before you change the guitar part. Like there's just like one little note of hand clap. At least that's what I think I was hearing. It's a really cool effect on the song. I was going to point that out.
I like all of the hand claps. I was with Patrick a little bit last time where I was like, not in love with these things.
I think they were a little loud
Yeah.
before. And they were in that demo, they were straight up. So I like doubled them and panned them out. Yeah. And turned them way down.
Are those real claps or are those?
Those are Addictive Drums claps.
But good claps. And I liked them.
So the claps are a late addition. And because this song is about a conversation inside your head about trying to motivate you to show up every day and just keep putting in the work, because everybody always says, if you keep doing the things you love, like
we're in this together,
work, good things will happen. And I have a really hard time ascribing to that sometimes because, quite frankly, it hasn't really worked out up until this point. So those claps seemed appropriate as like a pep talk type of, and it comes in the point in the song where you're like, you just keep showing up. Clap, clap, clap. Like, come on.
You should end the song in a round of applause.
Yeah, you did. You got one done.
Or just change the title to Tony Robbins.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, what do you guys think about that title change, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it because
I think it's more appropriate.
I also like my other favorite part about that chorus line that I was talking about earlier is how it cuts and goes right into It's Sound Advice a couple of times. And so I like that. And I think that's a good, the way that works. It's like and it lends itself to be the title, so I like that. It's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So this one went from the new December 5 to Where We Hide to Sound Advice.
Titles are important.
I also like your, I guess, will to kind of bend this song to where you want it. It's almost like you took someone else's work and made it your own, except you took your own work and made it your own, which makes almost no sense when I speak those words out loud, but
yeah, this one was a struggle for me. Yeah.
It's kind of a cool project to take something you don't like and just force yourself to get it there. We call it the Brad method.
There's maybe another person on this podcast who could heed some of that sound advice.
I see what you did there.
I have had a couple people asking about this. Who's this Eloise girl?
Who was it? Amanda?
Yeah. Could have been. We'll get that one done eventually in due time. Due time.
So yeah, we're gonna tweak the strings, and I think it'll be good. In the meantime, we're gonna get on to getting on to other things.
Yo, need more strings in my headphones. Yo.
That means we're gonna attempt an outro here. BSers, are you ready? You guys ready? Let's do this. So when this song is put out into the world, you'll be able to find it on our website along with the demo version. You'll be able to find it on our Spotify playlist that Patrick curates and updates every week.
Handcrafts.
Link in the episode description. You'll be able to find it anywhere music is able to be found out there in the digital realm. Also, we'll post about it on our social media sites. So we will put it up on Facebook. We'll put it on Instagram. I already have put in pictures of the Shakers. Thank you for who. Sorry, I have my notes up, but I'm getting notes from you guys that saying this is going really well. So I'm going to keep going with it. BSers, send us a message. We want to hear from you. I know we've been kind of getting on this more lately during these fantastic outros that we want to hear from you. We want you to send us messages, bs@belongingsongs, or you can go to our website and fill out the forums page there, or you can DM us on our social medias. We just want to know that you're out there and listening. Sometimes it can be a little discouraging not to hear from people, and we really do appreciate you listening, and we just want to hear from you. Let us know what you think, or just say hi. So also tell your friends. What is so funny, guys?
Our outro's been uploaded to DistroKid.
We'll get an email about it. Brad, can you check our email? See what we got this week?
Shit, dude.
Let's go to the inbox.
Yeah, hang on. Wah, wah. We got nothing.
BSers, check out our Patreon page. There you can hear what we're listening to. That's our other podcast. We're having a lot of fun doing that. There are now at least 5 episodes out. So if you go to patreon.com, search for Belonging Songs, you'll find us there. You can support us and gain access to that podcast. We have new t-shirts, which we are very excited about. We have 2 t-shirts now in the store. You can get the classic first generation navy blue t-shirt. Is that navy blue? Royal blue? What blue is that?
Yeah, deep blue. That I think we can call that retro now.
Okay, we got the retro tee with the Back to the Future Belonging Songs font.
Back to the
available.
future, like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
Trademark.
Yeah.
Not
It's
infringed.
in the Belonging Songs
And-
font. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, the new Brad's Chicken Tee, black
What?
t-shirt, white satellite chicken on it. Very cool.
My grandpa
so please check that
would
out.
say that those are sharp. It's a sharp
Yes,
t-shirt.
They are quite slick. Also, sticker packs and art prints. So please check out our merch page on our website, belongingsongs.com. This podcast is produced by satellitechicken.com. There, you can get help making your own podcast or help with music production if you so choose to need something like that.
Or for a lower price tier, we'll send Uncle Dave with a tape recorder over to your place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can be arranged.
Mm-hmm. So that's it for
That's it for the outro.
That's it for the thing there. We got it done.
My
there.
co-host didn't sabotage this at all.
I got the thing there done. Thanks for interrupting that.
yeah. Bing bang.
Bing, bang, boom. We're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you here again next week.
God, our listeners put up with a ton of shit.
Wonder why they don't email and shit.
I feel like I'm getting worse.
I can't see why. We got
It's
fucking
almost
idiot 1 and idiot 2 texting back and forth.
Yeah.
That's good. Boom, done. Next.